Upon landing, the guide looks for a safe place to create the anchor. It's important to view the couloir before setting up the anchor to ensure that your guests will be going down in the correct spot. Probing the snow is also helpful to make sure that the snowpack underneath is stable enough to support the weight of the skiers and the anchor itself. When searching for the perfect place to place your anchor, it's important to look at the features that you may encounter along the way. In this particular case, there was 2 cornerstone overhangs and a rock that had glazed over with ice. It may take several tries to find the correct snowpack in order to support the weight of the anchor and the skiers.
It's a little bit shallow. Very shallow. Dog shit. Huh? Dog shit. No.
Really?
No. Much better. Like a meter?
Alright?
You're trying to go 1 meter or?
No, half meter is good. Depends on the snow, but this is ice snow.
The depth of the pit depends on the type of the snow that you're working with. In this particular case, a half meter was sufficient to support the weight of the skier and the anchor.
And you don't want to dig in so you get to a weak layer. You want this firm snow. And if you have to rappel and you don't have this, you can take this shovel thing or something you can leave up there. Huh?
You should also have a plastic bag or so in your backpack. You can fill it with snow, right?
Yeah. But then you can dig like a big pear, and you just put the rope like this. So many ways. Or if you're gonna take someone up from a crevasse, you can use your skis. Huh? But what's most important, I'm gonna have this like this, is the sling is not going up and like this, because then the pole on the wood is coming up. So you have to cut
A trench.
yeah. And then and that should be in the angle as you going. And you don't want to step on this or this.
To make it weak.
Yeah.
In any anchor system, it's always critical to consider which way the weight will be pulling onto the actual anchor itself. At this point, it's always critical to make sure that all of the guide's gear is ready to go and in proper working order. Often it takes a little extra time, but it's well worth it to ensure the safety of all guests.
Normally I always bring a piece of sling with me, like webbing.
Yeah.
But I didn't put it up here at all. So here you do a clovage, I think it's in English.
Yeah.
But I have it on the back side, so it doesn't spin. If you pull here, it can go down.
The success of the anchor depends more on the actual snowpack extending out towards the cornice versus where the actual anchor is placed in the snowpack. Stepping down and packing the snow over the top of the wood will help it keep in place, but the actual leverage being placed on the rope will be pulling more on the snowpack that overhangs onto the cornice. A piece of snow is placed to ensure that the piece of 2x4 stays in the proper position before burial.
And this is just so it's solid. It's nothing to do really with the. Here is the important thing.
Preparing your clients for which direction they need to be facing and how they need to hold their poles or extra equipment is critical before you put them onto the rope.
The hand?
I can put them in your backpack.
No, I hold them like this.
Okay. But you're gonna go right side out.
So this way.
Skis that way.
It's always a good idea to double check the rope for knots just in case anything has changed since unpacking. The more knowledge you can pass on to your clients before you actually put them on belay will help put them at ease and make the whole process go smoother.
So you have to go around that way.
It's imperative that no one steps on the snowpack directly in front of the anchor, or one would weaken the snowpack layers, causing the anchor to fail.
Okay.
Always important to double check that the client understands the correct position for them to unhook themselves in order for them to provide themselves a bit of safety, and also to be able to regroup your clients as fast and quickly as possible.
Okay. Here. So sit down on that. So it's gonna go down first 5 meters and then out in the couloir and slide down. You're sliding, then you have a big wall coming to your right side.
Yeah, I see it.
And stand underneath it. So you're covered. So sit
But
down.
I unhook myself when I'm under the rope?
Yeah, yeah. When you've done a little platform, when you feel safe.
Okay. You okay? Yeah.
Okay.
Once the skier has passed over the cornice, the leverage becomes more balanced as the skier's weight starts to fall down onto the slope below, reducing the pressure on the rope and anchor.
Seems to work.
Yeah, it works so far.
There's so much, you see,
Yeah.
over the edge here.
Yeah.
Most of the power go away.
Right.
So now it's not so much in the anchor anymore.
Just the first part. Yep.
Yes? Okay. You heard, huh? No, so straight down. It's a bit rocky if you continue. So quite early, go to the left, out in the chute.
Always important to relay information back up from the person being played. In this particular case, there was a set of rocks below the direct line of the rope, so it was imperative that the skiers move to the skier's left in order to avoid these rocks. A good guiding practice is always to be listening to make sure that the client is safe and that if there are any issues, they can be addressed immediately.
Do you leave the beaner or not? Okay.
In this particular case, as the rope was coming back up, a knot had formed just above the carabiner.
What's important now is it's a knot in the rope, huh? So if I just pull up, the rope might be stuck into the old thing. So I have to really go to the edge. Sometimes you can put something there, but I have to go to the edge now and see that that doesn't happen.
In order to make sure that the rope comes back up safely, Jonathan goes to the edge and pulls the rope straight so that it won't hook on a rock or a tree, causing the rope to snag.
And always stuck the rope so you don't have the problem for the next one.
Yeah.
A dead man, you call this anchor, I think, in
Yeah.
English.